welcome to this week's meal prep video. So today I am starting out with, I'm going to put some fruit salads in some mason jars. You guys know how much I love mason jars since I use them all the time. And I thought, well, I have these little short, kind of fat ones, and I thought these would be really cute for fruit salads. Because I have been taking fruit with me to work for my morning snack, but I'll usually just grab an apple or grab some grapes, and I thought, you know what, this allows me to have a serving of fruit, but I can have all different fruits, and I know I'm not going to do that in the morning or before I go to bed. I know I won't do that because I'll be too tired and then some other fruit will go bad. So I just figured this would be a fun way to eat my fruit. So so you can see I have a pineapple, and I have some strawberries. I have some grapes that I've cleaned and taken off the stems. Ooh, I almost dropped those. I have some blueberries. And then I have a cantaloupe. So I'm not going to, I did have someone ask me how I cut pineapple, so I'm going to show you just briefly how I do it. And then I will get the cantaloupe cut up and do the assemble a couple of the cups, and then I'll come back to you. So what I usually do first is I just cut off both the top and the bottom of the pineapple, and then I just cut really close, just cut down, and I just cut really, you know, close to the, as close to the, I don't know what you call that, the flesh, I'm not sure. You just cut off the sides, but try not to cut off too much of the pineapple along with it, which I'm really bad about that. I just have a bowl over there that I always throw my trash in when I do any kind of meal prep. That way I'm not running back and forth to the trash can. It's being really noisy. I'm trying to be quiet because the whole rest of my house is asleep. You can see I have a little bit around the edges here, so I'm just going to grab my smaller knife and just kind of just cut around those edges. I know you can buy those pineapple core things, but I don't know, this has always just worked for me, so. And then I'll usually just take my little knife and just kind of go around. You see how these little eyes and stuff, I don't know if that's what you call them, but they just remind me of potatoes, so I call them eyes. And I just kind of go around and just kind of cut those off. Fresh pineapple is so much better than the pineapple in the can. So whenever I do see it, you know, and right now, at least in my stores, it's a pretty good price right now. So I try to pick one up whenever I see it at a good price. I think these were at Fred Meyer for like $1.99 this week. So not as big as the ones that I was getting last year, though. So I don't know wherever they come from. I'm assuming Florida. Maybe they're just not as good of a crop this year, or maybe they're not even seasoned. I don't know. I don't know when the season for pineapple is, since we obviously don't have them here in Oregon. Okay, so I got all that off. Let me go grab a rag and clean off my board a little bit. These are kind of spiky, the things that come off, so I want to get that into my salad here. Okay, so you can kind of see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but right there you can kind of see where the core is at. So what I do is I just take my knife and I just cut down as close to that core as I can. And that core is really hard, and you don't want to eat it. So I just cut down all the way. And this, I mean, if you want to make rings, I think you have to buy one of those pineapple ring things, cores. So then you have this, and you can tell the difference. You know if you've done it right, because it is a lot harder. Like, there's still a few soft spots here that I could cut off there, but basically here you can kind of see that ring, and all around it is kind of a lighter color. I'm not an expert. This has just been what I've tried. Let me grab a bowl. Okay, so let me get that anyway. So then I just, from here, I just slice it up in whatever size chunks that I want them. And these, since they're going to go in these fruit cups, I'm going to kind of cut them a little bit smaller than I normally do. So I kind of just diced mine up to about that size. But like I said, whatever. And I have, even though I don't have a pineapple core, my husband really likes pineapple upside down cake. And I have just used this. I've just cut them. I just, have to have round, rings for pineapple upside down cake. So I have they've kind of turned out to be kind of square rings. So, but I mean, it all still tastes the same. So there, I started dicing up. So I'm going to finish dicing this up. Then I'll get my cantaloupe out and I'll show you how I cut that. Okay, so I got quite a bit of pineapple out of that. So I'm obviously going to switch this to a different bowl. So my cantaloupe, and I mean, I don't know how everybody cuts their cantaloupe, but I always cut the ends off so I have flat ends to be able to work with. And then just cut it in half. I can scoop out the seeds. I'm filming a recipe video right now. I'm multitasking, so I'm doing a recipe video, but one of the steps is for it to sit there for 30 minutes, so I may have to stop and reset and then come back. Not that you guys will know, because it'll all be continuous for you. So I just scooped out the seeds. Oh my gosh, this is really nice and ripe. It smells so good. Okay, and then from here is where I might be a little bit different than some people, but I like to take them after I cut it and kind of, it will be in fours. I just take my small paring knife and I just start peeling it. So then you just get a nice and I know I'm not doing this the safest. I've never gone to culinary school. So see, this is what I have to work with. And I'm going to do the other one, then I'll be right back. Okay, so they're all ready. So then from here, just cut them up, and again, just whatever size you want them in. Again, I'm going to do probably a little bit smaller than I normally do, just because they're going into, like, again, the fruit salads. So I think another reason why I like the idea of these mason jars is because it's portioned out. I can easily, as any of you who watch me know, I can easily go overboard with fruit. So at least I know that I'm getting, and this may be a little bit more than a, quote, serving size, but these are just 8-ounce jars, and I feel okay with the amount of fruit that I'm going to be putting in them. let me grab a bowl again. Okay, so I just cut them up into little chunks. So I'm going to cut up the rest of this and I'll be right back. Okay, cantaloupe's all done. Oops. So I'm going to start assembling the fruit cups now. So I need to still hold the strawberries, but I'll just do those as I go along. I have 4 minutes left in my timer for my recipe video, so I will have to stop, I'm sure. So let's get the strawberries going. And I don't know if there should be a certain order I should put all this stuff in there, like you do with the mason jar salads, because I've never done this before. But I'm thinking it probably doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to do layers of things. So I put some strawberries in there, some pineapples, toss some grapes, some blueberries. Just a little bit closer to you. Some cantaloupe. Some of these cantaloupes I think are a little bit too big. Put more little. I think I'm going to do another strawberry here. Put a few more. Let's do a few more blueberries on top. And there we go. I got a little fruit salad. So I think this would be perfect for my morning break at work or whenever I eat it. I wish I had more of these little jars because I would just put all of them in there and just put it in my refrigerator. I actually might have to go get some. So, because I'm going to have a lot of fruit left. Let me do one more. I have time. Yeah, I have time. Okay. I do have some bigger mason jars. I actually might, that I use for my salads, but I'm not going to do salads this week. So I might go ahead and fill up some of those bigger ones just to store the salad and save room in my refrigerator. That's a nice thing with the mason jars, especially the quart size ones that I use. Those ones are great for storing. I use them to store, like when I open up a big bag of rice or pasta or something like that, I will put, I'll put the, instead of just putting them, you know, trying to fold up the bag that they come in, I will just put them into a quart size mason jar. You can also get gallon size mason jars and do the same thing. I love mason jars. I'm scared to can though. I don't know. I've really thought about doing it, but we don't have a place for a garden, and so we are going to be looking for a place here soon, and that's something kind of we want, is to make sure we have a place for a garden. And that's, at that point, I think I need to get over my fear of canning. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because when I was a kid, you know, you use those big, you know, kind of scary things that, I don't know, I know they still use those, but when I was a kid it was scary because like Grandma used to always tell me, oh, stay out of the kitchen when we're doing this, because I never told why. But anyway, and plus I'm just scared that I'm not going to get the right temperature and it's not going to be safe, and I don't know. So there's the second one. So I'm going to stop. I have to finish my other video, and then I will finish these other two. And I think we'll grab a couple of the quart jars and put the as much of the rest of this that I can in there. And I'll show you those when I'm done as well. Okay, so I'm all done. So I got the 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. The ones that I will take to work in the mornings. And then I got 2 of the 32 quart mason jars full of salad. So this is going to save me a lot of room in my refrigerator, and then if anybody in the family wants some salad, they can just open it up and they already have a fruit salad. so next thing I'm going to prep is cilantro lime chicken. So I am going to show you the freezer method of this. So in here I do have a pound, it's like 1 pound, 3 ounces of chicken breast. And this makes 4 servings, by the way. Well, I've calculated at 4 servings, and it'll be 5 smart points for 4 servings. You need 1 bunch of cilantro, some red onion. This is probably, I really like red onion, so I do quite a bit. I would say this is about a half of a medium red onion. I buy my onions already sliced because I hate cutting onions. I have a half of a cup of corn. And now you probably would, if you see this recipe anywhere, I've seen it on Pinterest a lot, and I've just changed it to my liking. Most of them call for like a full package or a full can of corn. I'm not a huge corn fan, and I mean in general I like corn on the cob, but I just, for me, I've made this with a full package or a full can, and it was just too much corn for me. But I do put in a full can of black beans, and these are no sodium black beans. And then you need the juice of 2 limes. I don't really know what it looks like. It's about maybe a 1/4 cup if you just use lime juice. And it does call for salt and pepper. I don't put salt in my food when I'm cooking. I prefer to use a salt-free seasoning. So this is what I use, and I just do it to taste. And then you also need a teaspoon of cumin. So I'm going to take my cilantro, and since it's going into the crock pot, I'm just going to roughly chop it. I'm not going to, and I love cilantro, so you may not want to put this much cilantro either. I honestly don't know what the recipes call for, but for me, I just love it. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. And then since it's going in the crock pot, I'm not going to worry about cutting it up too finely. I'm just going to roughly chop it. Okay. And I don't worry about the stems. I never have an issue with it when I put them in the crock pot. So I'm going to put this into with the chicken. And this is a gallon size freezer bag. There. Okay, and let's just go ahead and dump everything else in. So I'm going to dump in the corn and the black beans. And I did drain and rinse these black beans as well. Put in the red onion. Now I'm going to kind of squish this around a little bit just to kind of get everything all mixed around in there before I put the liquid in. Okay, so one tip I have when you're doing thing with spices in the gallon bags like this. I put my spices in with whatever liquid the recipe calls for. Some of them will be oil. This is like obviously not an oil-based one. It's just a juice one. I just put 2 teaspoons of my salt-free seasoning. It's like I said, it's completely to taste. But the cumin you want to be careful with if you're not used to using it. You do want to be careful with how much you use because it is a really strong spice. Let me grab a spoon. So and then I just mix my spices in with whatever liquid, and this will make sure that it gets evenly distributed and throughout the bag versus, you know, you're pouring it into the bag and then it sticks to the side. I mean, it's going to stick to the side anyway, but there. So then you just want to pour that into your bag. And then again, I'm going to kind of squish it around to make sure that it gets nice and distributed. Sorry if that's loud. Okay, and there you go. This is the cilantro lime chicken. So now, at this point, if you're going to use this for later on in the week or the month, I would say I have never kept any freezer meals in there longer than a few weeks. So I'm not sure how long you can leave them in there for. And normally I would label this with the instructions, but I'm going to be making this tomorrow, so I'm not too worried about labeling it. But so what you would do from here is you'd stick this in your freezer, and what I like to do is lay them flat like that, put them on a cookie sheet, and that way they freeze. I'll just, you know, I would normally distribute everything really well. Lay it flat, put it in a cookie sheet in my freezer, wait till it freezes flat, and then when you hold it up, it'll be kind of like where you can stack it like a book in your freezer. So then to cook this, what I have done with freezer meals is I will take them out the day before I need to use them, or the morning of I need to use them, either one. So if for me, since I work Monday through Friday, what I do with these types of meals, I'll take them out like Friday evening, and knowing I'm going to cook it either on Saturday or Sunday. So I do let them thaw a little bit. I think you can probably take them right from the freezer and put them into the crock pot, but I'm not positive. So I would just suggest to take them out the day before you want to use it. And then you put it in your crock pot and you cook it on low for 8 hours, or high for 4 to 6. So it's just until the chicken's done, obviously. And then you just shred it up, mix it all together. And what I do is I will either have this, I have put this on lettuce for like a salad, or just on tortillas. And I use the Ole Extreme 1-point tortillas. And so then you would have a 6-point meal with that, because this is 5 points and the tortilla is 1. Okay, so here is the rest of the meal prep for this week. So let me show you the dinners I have going on. So this will be for my family tonight. It is called No Peak beef tips. So I'll be putting that in the refrigerator, and it takes about 2.5 hours. So I'll pull it out later. This I'm getting ready to put into my crock pot. This is the cilantro lime chicken that I showed you earlier in the video. These are some veggies for a stew that I have making for my family that they'll have later on in the week. So it is on the stove right now, the meat is. So these are just the vegetables I need to toss in when that's done. I made some taco soup. So it made 2 quarts of that. There you go, I can see a little bit better. And then here are the fruit salad jars that I already showed you earlier as well. So these ones I'll be taking to work. I work 4 days this week, so I made 4 of them. And then this is just the leftover fruit that I had for the family. And then I had some cantaloupe and grapes that didn't fit in there as well. And another dinner will be spaghetti squash and turkey meatballs. And this still needs to cook for a little bit longer, but I pulled it out just so I could have it in the video. And I made some hard-boiled eggs. I have usually one of these for breakfast and one for lunch, or just for snacking. I had a large watermelon. I have some baby carrots, and here are cucumbers and celery. Then I have my usual bell peppers and radishes. These I will eat with hummus. Some cilantro for salads, mushrooms for salads, and some lemon wedges for my water. And I think that does it for the meal prep this week. Thank you for watching. Oh, one more thing. Hold on. Okay, and these are the oatmeal yogurt cups that I did show a recipe video on, and that will be linked below in the recipe playlist. So these I will have for breakfast, and I think one of my kids will probably eat them as well. And these just so you know, these are holding up really well. I'm really surprised, and I've been keeping them in the refrigerator because of the banana. So anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll have another meal prep video up next week. So I will see you all soon. Bye.